Alrighty, it is Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. Ended up catching a dub today. Today was a winning day. Ended up catching this long play, but we were originally in for shorts. So let's go ahead and start off on the 4 hour time frame today. So originally starting off, we had this 4 hour fair value gap right here, and price. Alright, going back testing, not back testing, but replaying back into Sunday, going into, I believe I had touched on this in our weekly analysis. We had this opening gap, not opening gap, but what do we have right here? I think we were talking about this for value gap right here, but today I noticed that we also had formed a opening gap as well. That's definitely going to be a price target for this upcoming week. But anyways, going into today specifically, we had marked out these monthly lows. As you can see, both pairs took them out. So originally, but on the 4 hour they did close below. On the daily, they're looking to started to respect it. Who knows what kind of close we'll get? We just gotta kind of wait until that daily candle closes in about 5 hours. Most likely, it looks like we are going to close above and sweep that low and go higher and higher on both pairs as well. So not really an SMT at all. And let's see, going into the 1 hour. So what kind of anticipated us for shorts was we were looking at this 1 hour gap right here on ES. We weren't really looking at NQ just because on shorts for ES looked way better. As you can see, we weren't respecting this 1 hour gap nearly as much as we were on ES. So cool. And then on top of that, also we had tapped into that, and at first I thought, hey, look, we're gonna get that inverse. Ended up not getting the inverse. Um ended up getting just about right on the edge of that fair value gap before we closed right into it and respecting it on the 15-minute, 5-minute inverse every fair value gap that was formed pre-market. So originally we were in shorts. We got in. So 10 a.m. macro was like right here. We had gotten in like right here. So this was our trade right here. Then we're like 1 to 3. So I guess we could have been pretty much break even with this trade, but we are trading on combines, so we do have to kind of necessarily over risk on the accounts in order to get these things passed in 2 days. So yeah, that's pretty much what we did. I think I ended up getting stopped out break even, got in back in right here, something like that. With the stop like that. Pretty much 1 to 3. Ended up not hitting that, unfortunately. Ended up getting back in the drawdown, and then eventually I kind of looked at the 15-minute chart as well on ES and NQ, and I was like, hey, look, we have this 15-minute fair value gap that's formed, bullish fair value gap that's formed. We have these highs that want to get taken out. We have necessarily a bias for longs as well. We were just kind of favoring that short bias just because of the reaction of that 1 hour gap. So pretty much we disregarded it on ES, and pretty much once we consolidated right here. At the time I didn't know this, but we also had formed a 1-minute SMT as well with these lows. If I can just, so something like that, I guess. Boom. And I believe it was, this has to be it, right? What time was that low at? Yeah, so pretty much SMT. As soon as we literally had closed, and then we just started immediately pumping up. So I was like, okay, entered in about right here, targeted these highs, ended up catching a W, got our evals halfway again for the third time already. Definitely need one more winning day. We forgot to essentially put copy trade on them. Not copy trade, but we weren't able to. I forgot they weren't copy traded, so we had to enter in one-on-one. One had more drawdown than the other, so unfortunately we have one of the combines that needs to make a significant amount of more profit. I think it's maybe like maybe like 1,000 more. So maybe 2,200 total on one account that we need to make in order to pass it, and like 1,300. So almost $1,000 difference. Just crazy because the profit difference is only like $400. Doesn't matter. Who cares? We're just evals at the end of the day. We do still have all of our Express accounts and our Alpha Futures live accounts. The goal right now probably is just to get max allocation this month, like we said earlier. Then start trading them and then building towards some more building them more. Sorry about that. So yeah, that's definitely the goal right now. It's very possible that we get max allocation this week on both firms. Definitely want to take it very very cautious this week, just because it is a short week, 4 days. Technically, like a short week. We had MLK Day yesterday, then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's 4 days right there. Friday's kind of like iffy, so maybe like 3 days. It's fine. It's whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Not too bad of a trade. 1 to 3, like how we always go for. Things that we could have really improved on was just kind of waiting for some 15-minute market structure, to form. If we never got in on a short play, which, I wouldn't say it was a bad bias to kind of go after, but definitely could have waited a little bit more. I mean, yeah, we had really strong, we had a strong, kind of not really a strong reaction, but we kind of did start to displace on the 1 minute as well on every single pair as well. So definitely not a bad bias to go for shorts, but definitely glad that we ended up favoring longs after forming 15-minute market structure and having obviously the 1 minute SMT as well. So that's pretty much what we have for today. Let me see. Let's go ahead and erase all this now. So going into tomorrow now, it's pretty premature, obviously, but if we can touch base on anything right now, it's gonna be definitely that 4-hour gap that we have. If I can just get it right on the wick. Yeah, so definitely want to favor that opening gap for an area of liquidity. I think we will hit it at the end of this week, with that monthly low being our kind of area of liquidity that we reacted off of. Very very W area of liquidity for today. But yeah, definitely want to see all these previous session highs get taken out of Asia session and then tap into this 4-hour gap, opening gap, which is very very realistic. We already inversed on the 4-hour as well on NQ as well as ES. Let me see. No, not essentially any market structure yet for the hourly time frames, but it looks like we are starting to get some some reaction off of this 1-hour gap as well on ES and on NQ. So definitely want to keep in touch. I know that's very very premature to kind of talk about the next day, but if we can talk about higher time frame areas of liquidity, it's definitely going to be that opening gap as well as this 4-hour gap that's lying underneath it, and this one too as well that we did get a displacement off of. Let me see any other draws on liquidity where we can reverse off of. Let me see. I think we can also mark out this. We can also mark out this OTE range as well. Boom. Awesome. Looks like we are respecting all those ranges. So definitely a W. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can say for the next day. Today was a W day. Currently 7-1 on the month. Phenomenal start. Just looking to keep going. That's pretty much all I can really say. Just another day in the office. But that's all I have to really say for today and today's trade recap. And yeah, and I know I said want to stay consistent, want to upload every day. Definitely gonna hold myself to that and do my best to upload every day, if not at least 2 times a week. One being either every day of a trade recap or market recap, or at the end of the week of all our trade recaps combined, and a weekly analysis video for the upcoming week. Not definitely don't want to be in that situation where you want to squeeze it all in one video like how we did last time. So yeah, that kind of concludes what today's market recap was, today's trade recap, and I'll see you guys in the next video.